Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Welcome to Impending Prophecies. As you well know, America and the globe are faced with a pandemic of plague that is spreading throughout the entire world. Not just in America, but through the entire continent. Many have already perished under this black plague. It has showed itself under every corner of the world, determined to depopulate the globe. And you're probably asking, where is God in all this? Has God forsaken mankind? Is he showing us his wrath? Have we provoked God to anger? I am going to share with you today what the Bible has to say. I want to alliterate some what the Bible has to say regarding America today. Turn with me to Matthew 24, verse 3 to 8. And there we will see Jesus Christ directly speaking to his disciples when he asked, the disciples asked him a question, and what shall be the sign of your coming? And when is the end of the world? And Jesus spoke and answered,
Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and ye shall deceive many. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrow.
Today we see that happening. It's been happening for centuries. And Jesus spoke of these end-time prophecies. So where does America stand today in these end-time prophecies? Where does the globe stand today when Jesus prophesied and told his disciples that these things will come to pass? And he goes on to say, and all these are just the beginning of sorrows. Let's go back a few years, back to the 1950s. In America, was called a decade of prosperity. The economy grew by over 37%. During the 1950s, the median American family had over 30% more purchasing power than at the beginning. Eisenhower's efforts was to balance the federal budget. Unemployment remained low at 4.5, and today we see unemployment at its highest rate of 7%, higher than the 1950s. In the 1960s, there was also a prosperous time. The economy was great. People were enjoying life. Their purchasing power was even greater than the 50s, but when the 60s came and prayer was removed from school in 62, Bible reading scriptures and prayer was removed from school, America's economy declined.
The boys were glad to see the girls.
The economy was terrible, higher employment and inflation. It was hard times for the American people everywhere. Our government spending was high during the Vietnam War. Unemployment reached, now get this, unemployment reached 9% in May of 1975. Are we there yet today? We're almost there. When prayer and the Holy Bible were removed from public schools in 1963, now look at this. The academic achievement declined, including their SAT scores. You want to hear more? Out of wedlock, birth rates increased, and even more to come. An increase of illegal drug use, juvenile crime increased. So in other words, a decay of school behavior was rampant.
Today, every part of society is touched. Rich and poor, young and old, in families, in schools, and at work. Drug abuse is a public health issue which we can't ignore.
They start drinking, and that puts you in a different crowd of people than if you weren't drinking. And then you start maybe smoking, and then that puts you in an even more secluded crowd. And then you maybe try marijuana at a party, and that puts you even in another crowd. And it's like a cycle. It's a vicious cycle, and you get sucked into it.
Be oppressed by the fascism of Christianity. Let them hear it!
John 15:18. Jesus said, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of this world, but I've chosen you out of the world, therefore the world will hate you. It's going to come as a persecution madness on the earth. It'll start slowly, subtly, coming at a time when religious freedom appears to be at a peak. I see now persecution coming such as mankind has never before witnessed. A persecution madness.
The removal of prayer and the Bible brought heavy consequences to public schools over our nation. And Jesus, let me elaborate a little bit on what John 14:29 says regarding this. And now I have told you before it comes to pass, that when it comes to pass, you might believe. So the calamity and the alarming death rate was prophesied and spoken of many, many, many years ago. Jesus said in Matthew 24, chapter 24, that these things must come to pass. These are called the beginning of birth pangs or sorrows. We can see that today. A suicidal rate in America today has climbed over 700 suicidal incidents in America during the coronavirus when it first started, and increasing, it's climbing. Our economy is almost came to a collision crash. But he goes on to say, he says, fear not, For I have given you peace. Peace I leave with you in John 14. Peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, but I give unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. See, the world will offer you a false hope. They will offer you a false peace. But Jesus says, peace I leave with you. His peace, not the world's peace. His hope, not the world's hope.
Question: are you ready to meet the Lord Jesus Christ? No one knows when they will leave the land of the living. The Bible says appointed unto man once to die. After this, the judgment. Many don't wake up. Many perished on the coronavirus. My question to them was, were they ready? So people, I say to you today, where do you stand with Jesus Christ? But if you are sincere in your heart, you will say this prayer with me. Heavenly Father, I repent of all sin. And I acknowledge Jesus Christ, your Son, as my Savior. Now, Father, I ask you to forgive me of all sin, everything I've done in the past. I ask you to forgive me now, Jesus, and I accept you